Do you really need to eat 3 times a day? You grew up with the idea of eating 3 times a day. But what if I told you that breakfast, as we know it, is relatively new, and 3 meals a day is part of an ancient cult? Stay till the end if you want to know the whole truth about what your eating routine should be like. It is likely that you eat 3 times a day. After all, today's lifestyle is sustained around this way of eating, and the work of design promotes such practices. Tell me, if this has also happened to you, and sometimes it becomes a nightmare to think about the 3 meals a day. Prepare 3 menus, and if you are a housewife or a cook for everyone in the family, every day, you will lose hundreds of valuable hours. You finish breakfast, and you're already thinking about what you're going to eat for lunch. And fight to be able to eat dinner. And then wonder why you were overweight. The money is less and less enough to sustain the inexhaustible food routine that we use every day. You forced your children to not leave the table until they finish everything. For just a few hours later, they are forced to eat again, take a nap, and then give them a mid-afternoon snack, and then force them to eat again before going to sleep. Is this normal? Well, let me tell you, it's not. And that this is not eating, but this is part of an ancient cult of the body. We are living in the age of knowledge. On social networks, influencers increasingly promote intermittent fasting because they have realized that eating so much does not favor anything at all. And experts are endorsing the issue. Make yourself comfortable and stop eating for a bit, because this is gonna get sketchy. The ancient Greeks were first introduced to the concept of breakfast by eating dipped bread in wine, then having lunch, and then later a nice evening meal. Why did the Greeks do it? Well, the Greeks had a fascination with the human body. It had to be perfect. And that is what resulted in the invention of the gymnasium, where they trained completely naked. If you want more information about the origins of the gymnasium, let me know in the comments. The Romans ate only once at noon, and we have examples that Hebrews only ate dinner as a family shortly before nightfall, a practice that the first Messianic followers of Yeshua maintained. So much so that the practice that is now known as the Lord's Supper was continued on by Catholic Christianity and changed dinner for breakfast at the supposedly Holy Mass. That is, at the breakfast morning table, eating and dipping the bread in wine, just as the Greeks did in their breakfasts. This practice came to the modern world after the Industrial Revolution and capitalism was strengthened between the 19th and 20th centuries, where workers consumed a lot of strength due to forced labor, and thus the bosses motivated them to eat to revitalize their strengths. This practice became customary, so much so that many at breakfast dip their bread in coffee or accompany their toast with orange juice. But the 3 daily meals are being questioned, even by professionals. So much so that it has been shown that more than 60% of food waste comes from homes because families do not fully consume what they cook, representing an economic drain of high magnitude. Media like the BBC are already talking about it. If you have a big appetite, put a knife to your throat. Do not be greedy for their dainty foods, for they are foods of a deceitful life. This means that you control your way of eating. What is recommended then? A good meal in the evening before dark, around 6 or 7. Eating healthy to give your body the necessary nutrients. Feed yourself and your family in a healthy way. At first, you might feel that this is difficult because you are used to 3 times a day. But in the passage of time, you will feel better, and as a bonus, you will look much better physically as well. In the rest of the day, I eat fruits, drink natural juices, and a sweet once in a while won't hurt. And best of all, you will be free from the systems linked to the ancient customs of idolatry. That was ruining your health and your economy. Share this with your household members to see if they are willing to stop eating so much and to enjoy great family dinners every day from now on. Be careful of what you eat. Eating pork, shellfish, and exotic animals began as a part of sacrifices to false gods and are still being done. Matthew 6, verse 31 to 33. Don't be anxious and ask, what shall we eat? What shall we drink? Or how shall we dress? For the pagans are the ones who put these things into their hearts. Your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. Seek the kingdom and its righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. If you are new to this channel, subscribe, and we will continue informing you about these and other interesting topics while it may be possible. I am, for Prophetic Networks, Shalom.